1. The colonial era and early botanical interests. The origins of Lloyd Botanical Garden in Darjeeling are deeply rooted in the 19th century, during British colonial rule in India. At that time, the British Empire had a strong fascination with botany and natural sciences. Plant exploration, classification, and conservation were critical components of the colonial endeavor, as the British sought to understand and harness the natural resources of the territories they governed. Botanical gardens were seen as vital institutions for research, education, and the acclimatization of plants from other parts of the empire. In 1848, Darjeeling, with its cool, temperate climate and stunning Himalayan backdrop, was established as a summer resort and sanatorium by the British. As Darjeeling grew in popularity, so too did its importance as a location for plant experimentation. Darjeeling was home to a vast range of unique plant species, particularly alpine flora that thrived in its high-altitude environment, which could not be studied effectively in tropical gardens like the Calcutta Botanical Garden, now Acharya Jagadish Chandra Bose Indian Botanic Garden. Therefore, there was a need for a botanical garden in Darjeeling, not only to display and conserve the local flora, but also to advance scientific research on Himalayan plants. 2. Foundation of Lloyd Botanical Garden, 1878. The idea of establishing a botanical garden in Darjeeling materialized in 1878, thanks to a generous donation of land from William Lloyd, a British banker, businessman, and philanthropist who had extensive land holdings in the region. Lloyd was a key figure in Darjeeling's development, involved in banking and the tea industry, which was growing rapidly in the region. His donation of 40 acres of land near the heart of Darjeeling town provided the perfect site for the garden. In recognition of his contribution, the garden was named Lloyd Botanical Garden. Its purpose was to act as a satellite garden of the Calcutta Botanical Garden, with a focus on the cultivation and study of alpine and subtropical plants native to the eastern Himalayas. Its location at an altitude of about 2,000 meters, 6,900 feet, above sea level made it ideal for this purpose, as it offered conditions suited to a wide range of Himalayan flora. 3. The early years of development. During its early years, Lloyd Botanical Garden was developed under the guidance of British botanists and horticulturists. They concentrated on collecting plants from the surrounding Himalayan region, as well as from other parts of India and abroad. The garden soon became home to a wide variety of species, including rare and exotic plants. Special attention was given to the cultivation of orchids, which were particularly abundant in the eastern Himalayas. One of the garden's primary objectives was the conservation of indigenous plants, especially those from the Himalayan region that were under threat from deforestation and human encroachment. Over the years, Lloyd Botanical Garden developed an extensive collection of alpine and temperate plants, as well as a growing collection of exotic species brought from Europe, North America, and Southeast Asia. These included rhododendrons, magnolias, medicinal plants, and ferns, all of which thrived in Darjeeling's cool, misty climate. 4. Lloyd Botanical Garden as a research and conservation center. As the garden grew, it became an important center for botanical research. It attracted botanists and plant collectors from around the world, who came to study the garden's unique collection of Himalayan flora. In particular, Lloyd Botanical Garden became famous for its orchid house, which boasted an impressive variety of native and exotic orchids. Some of the rarest and most delicate orchids in the world could be found here, including many species that were endangered in the wild. Additionally, the garden developed a reputation for its collection of cacti and succulents, which were housed in a specially designed greenhouse. This collection included species from arid regions around the world, offering a stark contrast to the garden's more temperate and tropical plants. The juxtaposition of alpine, temperate, and desert plants within a single garden made Lloyd Botanical Garden a unique site for scientific study. The garden also played an important role in the preservation of endangered plant species, particularly those that were native to the Himalayas. Over the years, Lloyd Botanical Garden has contributed to the conservation of several rare and endangered species, helping to protect the biodiversity of the region. 5. Post-independence development and modern era. After India gained independence in 1947, the Lloyd Botanical Garden continued to thrive as a center for plant conservation and research. Now managed by the West Bengal Forest Department, The garden remains a critical site for the preservation and study of Himalayan flora. In the decades following independence, the focus of the garden shifted somewhat from being purely a research institution to also serving as an important tourist attraction. Its natural beauty, diverse plant collection, and tranquil setting made it a popular destination for both locals and tourists. Throughout the years, the garden has expanded its collection and infrastructure, introducing new sections dedicated to medicinal plants, endangered species, and ferns. It has also remained committed to public education, offering visitors the opportunity to learn about the region's plant biodiversity and the importance of conservation. Lloyd Botanical Garden is also involved in collaborative projects with other botanical institutions in India and abroad. These collaborations focus on the exchange of plant species, research on plant diseases, and the development of conservation strategies for endangered species. The garden's commitment to plant conservation and research has earned it a reputation as one of India's leading botanical institutions. 6. The garden's place in Darjeeling's cultural and natural heritage. Today, Lloyd Botanical Garden holds a special place in Darjeeling's cultural and natural heritage. It serves as a living museum of the Eastern Himalayas' rich plant diversity, showcasing not only indigenous species, but also exotic plants from around the world. The garden's peaceful atmosphere and stunning views of the surrounding mountains make it a beloved spot for tourists and locals alike. The garden's orchid house, with its rare and exquisite orchid species, remains one of its most famous attractions. The collection of cacti and succulents, housed in a dedicated greenhouse, also continues to draw visitors, as does the wide variety of Himalayan plants, ferns, and trees that are found throughout the garden. Visitors can stroll through its winding pathways, enjoying the beauty of nature while learning about the importance of plant conservation. 7. Conclusion. Lloyd Botanical Garden, with its rich history spanning over 140 years, stands as a testament to the importance of botanical research, plant conservation, and education. What began as a colonial initiative in 1878 has evolved into a vital center for the study and preservation of the unique flora of the Eastern Himalayas and beyond. Its enduring commitment to conservation and education ensures that it remains a treasured part of Darjeeling's natural landscape and a beacon of botanical knowledge in India.